Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to do a follow-up video on Jesse Bam Rodriguez. You know, he's kind of become a star overnight, you know, and this is the beautiful thing about boxing. You know, Stacey McKinley, the great trainer, the world-renowned trainer, he has a great quote that I love because it applies to every fighter in boxing. He says that today's nobodies are tomorrow's somebodies, you know? Basically meaning that, you know, in boxing, you could be a nobody today, but you get that call, you win that one big fight, then you're all of a sudden a somebody. Look at George Kambosos Jr., look at Andy Ruiz Jr. as a couple of shining examples of this over the last couple of years. And then now, just this past weekend, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, another shining example of this this past weekend. So Eddie Hearn, you know, new promoter of Bam Rodriguez and world-renowned promoter, he was speaking about the future of Bam Rodriguez and the super flyweight division in general, and he has some interesting things to say. So we'll get into the quote and we will dissect from there. So Eddie Hearn stated the following, and I quote: Gallo Estrada, Chocolatito Gonzalez, Julio Cesar Martinez, and Rungviasi. One of them could be the next fight for Jesse Bam Rodriguez. This kid's a star. He could be the favorite versus all of those guys. So Eddie Hearn is riding the Jesse Bam Rodriguez wave, and he's saying that Bam Rodriguez will be the favorite. He thinks he'll be the favorite against, you know, the creme de la creme, not just in the super flyweight division, but in my opinion, boxing, because this is boxing's most stacked weight class. You know, those aren't little rinky-dink names he gets reeled off. You know, we're talking about, you know, a couple of future Hall of Famers he gets reeled off. But that's what I think that's what I think is gonna happen for Bam. You know, I know Bam Rodriguez had the intention, like when if you guys go back and you watch the Fight Week interview on Fight Hype with Lance Puigmeyer with Bam Rodriguez. But Bam Rodriguez seemed like he was hell-bent on, if he beat Quadras, because he said it, if he beat Quadras, he was gonna vacate the WBC title and he was going to move back down to 108 and pursue some fights there with the champions like, you know, Hiroto Kayaguchi, Jonathan Gonzalez, you know, them guys, you know, maybe the winner of Masamichi Ibuki and Ken Shiro. He was going to go that route, but, you know, he looked good on TV. Eddie Hearn liked what he saw, the powers that be in boxing like what they saw, and they want to match this kid with one of the big names in the low weight division. And like I said in my post fight, you know, on that night, a star, an absolute star in the lower weight divisions was born, and there's nowhere to go but up. Really, there really is nowhere to go but up. I mean, personally, of those names he just rattled off, I know he stated that he's looking at making maybe Bam Rodriguez versus Gallo Estrada in San Antonio, which could be likely. It could happen because, you know, Gallo Estrada was supposed to fight Chocolatito. He got COVID. So he's free right now. Like, he don't got no fight coming up, you know. So that would make a lot of sense. Maybe in the summertime, bring a nice little fight to San Antonio. You know, it's gonna sell because Bam Rodriguez is a Mexican. He's from San Antonio, and Gallo Estrada is Mexican. So that fight will be a barn burner, and it will sell very well in San Antonio. Or Bam Rodriguez can fight the winner of potentially Roma Gonzalez or Martinez, which I'll be at that fight. That's gonna be a great fight. You know, personally speaking, as a long-time Chocolatito fan, he's my favorite fighter of all time. I personally don't like the idea of Chocolatito fighting Bam because I don't know right now. I don't think right now at this career that would go well for him. Just being objectively honest. And then there's Rungviasi, who was supposed to fight Quadras, which I think could also be an opponent for him. So there's definitely options for Bam. He's definitely someone whose stock is shot through the roof. He was the story of last weekend. And listen, if he's going to stay in this weight class, I would love to see him fight any of those guys. Personally, I think the one that's the most realistic out of all of them, from a business standpoint and a competitive standpoint, is the Gallo Estrada fight. You know, Gallo Estrada is, in many people's estimations, the #1 super flyweight in the world. And Gallo Estrada is one of the best fighters from Mexico, if not, in my opinion. I know people will say Canelo, but, you know, I think he's the best one. And you know, with Bam Rodriguez, you know, winning a version of the title, of the WBC title, he can now go back home and defend the belt as champion against a fellow Mexican. I just don't see any fight right now doing more than that. Because if he fights Chocolatito or the Martinez winner, they're gonna have to wait at least maybe to like August, September-ish, because they're gonna fight in March. So you figure they fight in March, it's gonna be a tough fight for either one, whoever comes out the winner. Martinez and Chocolatito are gonna have to at least get 2 months of rest, bare minimum. And then we're talking about once the fight gets signed, sealed, and delivered, another 8-week camp. So that's like 4 months from March. So yeah, September. I'm thinking September he could fight them. So Gallo or Estrada could be it. But listen, man, either way you cut it up, slice it, and dice it, there's a new sheriff in town. There's a new dog in the division, and his name is Jesse Bam Rodriguez. And I believe wholeheartedly he will take on any and all comers moving forward in the 150-pound division. And it's definitely gonna make things interesting because you got him now in the division. You got Chocolatito, Martinez in the division. You got Rungviasi. You got Estrada. You still got Kazuto Ioka, who's one of the longest reigning champions in the division. You can't forget about him. And then you got the longest reigning world champion in the entire sport of boxing, Jerwin Cajas, who still is owed his big fight. Whether it comes with Ioka or not, that remains to be seen. But he is not someone that we can just overlook, Jerwin Cajas. So with that being said, that's the news. That's what Eddie Hearn's talking about. Jesse Bam Rodriguez looking at fighting the big names, the who's who of the lower weight divisions. What do you guys think, and who do you guys want to see him fight? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.